So, do you have your driver's license already? I always wondered what that process was like for someone leaving the Amish. So, yes, I had my driver's license within a month and a half of leaving the Amish. The day after we left, James Gingrich took me to Mansfield after we got done working, about 1:30 or 2. We went to the health department. I got my birth certificate, or a copy of my birth certificate. And then we went to the Social Security office, and I was one of the lucky ones because I had a selective service card that my bishop had signed for me stating that I was a conscientious objector once I became a member of church. So once I became baptized, I went to the bishop's house, signed up for that, and then I got a card in the mail, and I always kept that card in my wallet. My mom said, I should give it to her. I said, no, that has my name on it. And that selective service card had my social security number on it. So I knew what my number was. So it made it a lot easier with that card and my birth certificate. I was able to get the two forms of identification to get my social security printout. And then I took that and I went to the DMV and I got my permit package. So the day after I left, I got my picture taken and I got my first photo ID, which was for a permit package. And then all that week I studied the rules, the driving rules and all that, laws. And that next Saturday, I went and took my written test, and I had, I think, 3 answers wrong, 3 or 6. Anyway, I passed, and I got my permit. And from that moment on, I was driving whenever James Gingrich was in the vehicle. Sometimes after work, we'd go driving around. He had a Chevy Blazer that he was going to sell to me. And so I practiced how to drive in it, and then I went to take my driving test. And the first thing I had to do was the maneuverability test, and I hit a cone, knocked the cone over. So I automatically failed. So I was like panicking, thinking, maybe that car is too big for me, that Blazer. So my foreman's girlfriend had a 92 Pontiac Grand Am that she said she would sell me, and she wanted that Blazer. So she ended up buying the Blazer from my boss, and I bought the Grand Am from her. And I actually took my driving test a couple weeks later in that Pontiac Grand Am, and I passed it. Passed the maneuverability, passed the driving test. And the next day, after that, I went driving around in that car. It was so much fun. And I came back down through Mount Vernon where I'd taken my test. And it was right there where I had been doing my driving. I saw a cop. And as I drove by him, I almost stopped and pulled over so he could, arrest me because I was an Amish person out there driving. It just did not feel right.